So this couple walks in. I figure out they're like deaf or mute or have some sort of disability because instead of talking to me or answering any of my questions, he just shows me his phone with Notes app open and he says he wants a giant number 7. I'm like, bet, I'll make a giant number 7. I make the giant number 7, I slice the cheese, put the meat on there, hand it to the person that's sprinkling, and she starts sprinkling the sub, right? She gets over to the register, starts checking the lady out that's with the dude because it's a couple that's deaf, and then I look over from her to the guy back in front of me, and he's just doing this. Like there's something insanely, gravely wrong, right? And then the guy shows me his phone. It's a completely different Notes app, and it's a different sub with the same toppings, but like with mayonnaise on it. So I'm like, I didn't put mayonnaise on the sub. She starts putting mayo on the sub, and the lady starts freaking out. She goes, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? At this point, I'm freaking out. They're doing sign language, typical stuff, right, on some real shit. And then it starts getting violent. He starts going, he starts doing that. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Am I about to get beat up over a Jersey Mike sub? He points at me and does this. I'm like, no. I didn't take it personally, though, because I'm like, surely that's not what he meant. I just don't know sign language, right? And so I realized he wanted 2 subs, not just 1. So I remake both the subs. You know, we get everything sorted out, everything in order, cut it up, bag it, do the register, and they're on their way. As they walk out of the building, I hear the entire employee team in the back start cackling laughing, and then I go back there, and the second they see me they start dying, and I'm like, what? And she goes, bro, I had to leave because you almost started laughing in the line. And I'm like, bro, I was only laughing because your dumbass was laughing. I didn't find these people being funny. But she's like, when they started freaking out, I had to like hide my face, and I didn't realize I was being obvious about it, but apparently I was being super obvious about like having to like hide my laugh and my smile because it looked like they were threatening me with violence. I don't know how sign language works.